This happened when I was about 15 years old. Back in 2008, my parents went out to the casino for the night, so it was just me and my dog Abby home alone. It was about 11 at night, and I was messaging some friends on Instant Messenger and watching YouTube videos. As I was typing and chatting away, I heard Abby barking at something in the living room. I figured it might be my parents getting home and just waited. But after about a minute or so of more barking and no sound of the door opening, I got up and went into the living room to check it out. Abby was facing the windows that looked out onto our driveway, still barking. I couldn't really see anything because the lights were off outside and it was really dark. I peered through the window and saw only one car in the driveway, so I knew my parents hadn't come home yet. I chalked it up to Abby possibly hearing a neighbor's car door or a loud vehicle passing by, since we lived on a main road that stayed noisy even late at night. I went back to messaging my friends, but over the next 5 minutes, I kept feeling like I was hearing noises around the house. Abby would stop and start barking again at different intervals. I was about to get up to calm her down when I thought I heard a knock or a rustling sound at the living room door. I got up and slowly made my way back to the living room to look through the windows again. Nothing. I was starting to get nervous and was too scared to look through the peephole in case there was some crazy face staring back at me. I double-checked the lock and was about to leave the room when the sound of knocking came from the side door of the house. My heart fluttered. I didn't know what to think. Were my parents locked out? Was someone trying to break in? Was there more than one person? I barely had time to process those thoughts when I heard the doorknob from downstairs being jiggled, like someone was trying to open it. Our basement was basically under the house, and the entrance was hidden. To get to that door, you'd have to walk around the house, into the backyard, and go under the deck. You either had to know it was there, or be really determined to find a way in. Abby was whimpering and barking louder than ever, running from room to room trying to find the threat. It felt like the whole house was surrounded. The noises from the basement grew louder, and it almost sounded like whoever it was had managed to open the door then. Suddenly the noise stopped. My heart sank. I held my breath, frozen in silence, waiting for the next sound. Then, out of nowhere, Abby flew down the stairs and started growling like I had never heard before. She was a gentle black lab who wouldn't hurt a fly, but in that moment, she sounded like a beast ready to attack. I stayed frozen in place for what felt like minutes. Finally, my fight-or-flight instinct kicked in when I realized Abby had stopped barking. I called her upstairs and locked the inside door that led to the basement. I grabbed the home phone, since I didn't have a cell phone yet, and ran into the closet in my parents' room where one of the guns was stored. I sat there armed and ready, about to call 911 when I heard the front door open. Abby sprinted out. I yelled after her, terrified, but then I heard my parents' voices. I ran into the living room to see them petting Abby and looking confused. I spent the next several minutes recounting everything that happened. My mom was horrified, and my dad grabbed his gun and searched every inch of the house inside and out. But we didn't find anything, and I didn't sleep that night. The next afternoon, there was a knock at the front door. My heart skipped a beat, and I instinctively darted into another room. My dad answered, and found my Uncle Pete standing there with an envelope in his hand. Uncle Pete was, to put it lightly, a narcissistic creep. He always mistreated my aunt and acted weird around the kids at family gatherings. Nothing illegal, but he gave off a vibe that made you uncomfortable. Even the adults felt uneasy around him. Growing up, I always felt nervous when he talked to me. I can't recall specific things he said, but his presence was unsettling. His daughter, my cousin Kate, played softball in a league below mine. I loved my cousin and felt bad. She had such a strange dad. So I'd help her team with pitching and fielding. My mom and I eavesdropped from another room and overheard him say something like, I tried to stop by last night to drop it off, but no one was home, I guess. I couldn't hear much else, but moments later I heard the front door slam. My dad came back, with his face red with anger. Apparently, Uncle Pete had been the one snooping around the house last night, trying to get in. He handed me the envelope, and inside was a card with a gift card thanking me for helping Kate with softball. A full night of fear and panic, caused by my creepy uncle. My dad had threatened him at the door, and after that, we never really spent time with him again. Looking back, I'm at least grateful I found out who was behind it. Otherwise, I might have spent years wondering if it was burglars, a ghost, or something worse. I'm thankful Abby was there. She most definitely scared him off when he tried to get in through the basement. Still, I have so many questions. What the hell was he thinking? Why did he need to drop off a card so late at night? Why didn't he get the hint when no one answered the door? Why didn't he call first? And worst of all would have happened if he had gotten inside.